Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Podcast from Kurt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. This is episode 167.
I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne.
And today we're looking at some material that was actually suggested by our show producer, Kurt Robbins.
That's right, and it really gets to a fundamental shift happening in technical content.
It really does.
We're pulling from a new article. It's titled, Writing the Field, Not the Words, a new model for technical content in automated workflows.
And that's authored by Elsa Sklavounou, published just recently on December 9th, 2025.
The central idea here, the mission, is that we have to move beyond just writing.
Exactly. I mean, with modern automation, multilingual demands, the speed of everything, you have to stop writing words and start defining meaning.
So treating content like an engineered system.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's frame the problem first. Why is the old way, the traditional way of writing documentation breaking down?
Well, it fails because that linear structure is it's inherently fragile.
Fragile how?
Think about the product lifecycle now. Features are launching, iterating, updating almost weekly.
It's a continuous release environment.
Exactly. And if your documentation is just one long prose document, manually written from start to finish,
then every single update forces you to manually rewrite and re-edit everything.
across potentially hundreds of pages, it's a huge bottleneck.
And that leads right to the first big pain point in the article, inconsistency and fragmentation.
It's massive. You'll have two different authors writing about the exact same safety requirement, but they'll phrase it differently.
Just slightly differently.
Right. But that small difference gets multiplied. If you're in, say, 30 languages, that one little inconsistency now needs 30 different manual fixes every time that fact changes.
Wow, the effort just explodes.
It multiplies exponentially. It makes real consistency almost impossible to maintain at scale.
And I'm guessing that's where the automation gaps start to appear.
It actively works against the tools that are supposed to help us.
Like translation engines.
Absolutely. Machine translation, translation memory tools, they thrive on structured, predictable input.
But you're feeding them inconsistent prose.
So they struggle. If the same concept is phrased 5 different ways, the MT engine has to guess, and the TM tool treats it like brand new content.
Which means you lose all the savings.
You lose the savings, and you have to pay for costly human post-editing.
And that rework, it always seems to end up on the desk of the most expensive resource.
The subject matter expert, the SME.
The SME bottleneck.
Yes, and their time is so valuable. But in this old model, they end up fixing the same factual issue over and over again in dozens of different documents.
They're not validating facts at that point. They're proofreading sentence structure.
They're proofreading word choice instead of validating the core data. It burns them out, and it just kills your velocity.
It really sounds like a system just designed to fail at scale. Okay, let's unpack this. We've set up the problem. So how does this idea of writing the field, not the words, fix it?
It's a total shift in thinking. We're moving from treating content as, let's say, sculpted prose to treating it as data modeling.
So instead of writing sentences, we're modeling knowledge.
Exactly. The article calls them semantic cells. They're these discrete, reusable units of meaning.
So we're focused on the smallest possible data components that make up the final document.
That's a great way to put it. Think of it like this. Traditional writing is like sculpting a statue. It's one piece. If you need to change the elbow, you have to reshape the whole arm.
Okay.
This new model is like building with pre-verified Lego bricks. The bricks are the fields. They're not sentences. They're data points that hold meaning.
Can you give us some examples of what these fields would be in the real world?
Sure. You'd have standardized terminology fields, so USB-C port is always written the exact same way.
Makes sense.
You'd have procedural units, not a whole paragraph, just one single atomic step. You also have warnings, conditions, product traits like voltage requirements.
So if a product's operating temperature changes, I don't write a new sentence. I just update one single data field.
And that is the absolute core insight, separation.
The separation of meaning from language.
Exactly. That one field, that single unit of meaning, can be translated once, centrally managed, and validated by an SME without them ever having to see the final prose it gets put into.
That sounds incredibly powerful for consistency.
It provides unprecedented adaptability. It ensures that every single instance of that operating temperature, no matter the manual, no matter the language, is factually correct every single time.
Okay, let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Kurt Robbins.
Hi, this is Kurt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the Technical Writing Success Podcast.
Before the break, we were talking about how writing the field means treating content like structured data.
Right, and how that completely changes the game for consistency and risk management.
So now let's talk about the people, how this impacts the roles of everyone involved.
Starting with the technical authors. If they're not assembling sentences, what's their main focus?
Their job shifts from being a writer to being more of a knowledge modeler, an information architect.
Okay.
They're defining user tasks, creating the information architecture, and building what are called content templates.
And these templates are what automatically pull in those fields we talked about.
Exactly. They're designing the system that generates the text, rather than writing the output itself.
That sounds like a really different skill set, though, more on the engineering side of content.
It is a different skill set. It requires a new focus on structure, on markup, on logic, but the payoff is immense. Your expertise gets leveraged infinitely instead of being consumed by repetitive work.
And what about the multilingual experts, the translators?
Their world changes dramatically.
Ugh.
The manual effort is it's radically reduced. They can focus on managing the central term bases
And they only have to translate each field once.
for all downstream uses. And because the input is so consistent, their tools, especially advanced machine translation, become far more effective. They go from translating prose to managing language data.
What's fascinating here is how this impacts the SMEs. We talked about them being a bottleneck.
Right. And now their time becomes so much more valuable, they completely stop proofreading punctuation or arguing about synonyms,
They just focus on the facts.
purely on approving the meaning. The factual accuracy, the boundaries, the constraints of each data field. Review cycles can go from weeks down to hours.
And this all fits perfectly into modern content systems, right? Like a CCMS.
It's what they're built for. A headless CMS, or a component content management system, stores these fields as atomic objects. They don't store documents, they store verified facts.
Which is what makes the localization pipeline so efficient.
Totally. Instead of reviewing a whole 100-page document because 2 sentences changed,
You just translate the two changed fields.
and that single difference saves enormous amounts of time and money. That automatic rippling effect is transformative. One updated field can refresh hundreds of documents globally.
So what does this all mean for an organization that actually makes this shift? It sounds like a huge gain.
It's a massive payoff. You get almost bulletproof content consistency across all your global markets.
Faster localization, lower costs.
Right. More effective SME engagement. And this is a big one. You gain the flexibility to integrate AI safely.
Safely. Okay, that's interesting. Why does the structure make AI integration safer?
Because the structure provides governance.
Yeah.
It sets up guardrails. The core facts, the warnings, the measurements, the steps are locked in human-validated fields.
So the AI can't just make things up.
Exactly. AI can assemble those human-approved fields into natural-sounding prose in any language, but it cannot change the fundamental verified meaning.
It protects the core data.
It ensures the content stays factual and compliant, even when you're using AI to scale your output.
That really elevates the entire discipline. It's moving from just writing to system design to content engineering.
It absolutely does. And there's a comment cited in the article from David Hobbs that just nails it. He observed, the future of content isn't authored, it's modeled.
That's powerful. It's not about replacing writers or translators.
Not at all. It's about retooling them. It makes their expertise foundational to a highly scalable, engineered system.
So success, then, belongs to organizations that stop treating content like fragile text and start treating it like a true engineered asset.
An asset that can adapt and evolve globally. You're building a system, not just a document.
Thank you for listening to the Technical Writing Success Podcast from Kurt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.